forgot to do that little adjustment. So, hey everyone, we have something fun coming up starting a week from today. We have something called Soap Making Week. This is a chance to spend 5 evenings with me for about 90 minutes an evening, learning how to make goat milk soap, getting to the point where you can make that first batch confidently. And at the end of the week, have everything that you need to make your batch of soap, have it cut, labeled, curing, and ready to go. When that soap is cured, you're going to have everything together, ready to go, so that you can either use, gift, or sell that soap if you've got someone who is interested at that point. Now, we've been inviting people into Soap Making Week for several weeks now. And when you're talking, when you're inviting a lot of people, you talk to a lot of people, you hear a lot of things. And one comment that I got last week about Soap Making Week was a lady who was pretty hot. She's pretty hot about this. And her comment was, "This isn't possible." And it really makes me angry that anybody would imply that you can learn everything you need to know about soap making in a week. It isn't possible. This takes years to hone this skill and to get to the point that you can have something that you could offer to the public. And I kind of sat back and thought about that for a minute. And two thoughts came up, two emotions actually. One was feeling like I think there's a story behind that comment. I think that there is an experience there of lone rangering it. Like this person likely did all the research herself, did all the learning herself, all the testing, all the trying, all the trial and error, all of the troubleshooting when things didn't go right, figuring that out. And yeah, if you go through soap making like that, lone rangering it, it is going to take a long time and possibly years to get you to the point where you feel confident in your product and you can step out and offer this to the world. However, and I know that that's the case because that was the case for me. That's how I got started making soap. I had to, do the research, give it a try. When it didn't work, figure out what went wrong. And it did take me a long time to get to the point where I felt like what I was creating was giftable to begin with, but then saleable in the end. So it does take a while, but it doesn't have to be that way. If you put yourself in a place where you can learn from somebody who's been there, done that, made all the mistakes, tried all the stuff, figured out what's going on. And if you can do it in a community of other people who are all doing the same thing you're doing, it does not have to take years. And how do I know this is possible? How do I know this is true? I know this is true because I've seen it. I've seen people take our soap making classes before and make soap the next day and have a successful batch where they can, okay, this is something that we can use, we could give, we could sell, we could whatever, just from that first batch. Now, does that mean that every batch you make after that is going to be lovely and great and you're never going to have any problems? Well, no, that's not true. There is a learning curve there, but it doesn't have to be years and it doesn't have to be this huge barrier that you've got to get over before you can be successful as a soap maker. So I have seen this. I have seen people in a matter of months go from I've never made soap to making soap to making pretty soap, having a great time doing it, starting a business, offering their soaps for sale, and being successful in this way. So I have seen this in a matter of months. So does it have to take years to get there? Absolutely not. If you do it on your own, very likely that is going to be the case. But if you put yourself in a spot where you can learn, you can ask questions, you can get coaching, you can just continue to be inspired and kind of nudged forward in your soap making. It does not have to take years. We can do that. We can do that actually very quickly. So that was the first kind of emotion that came up as I was responding to this question. The other one was challenge accepted. Let's do it. Let's see if we can get this done. Let's see if we can take people from never having made soap to having a successful batch and at least having what they need to know in order to continue to pursue this and get to where they need to be. Can we do this in a week? Absolutely. Challenge accepted. And I invite you into that challenge with me. I invite you to be in this challenge. And I am going to put a link here in the chat of this live here. So that's the link you would need to click on to join me in Soap Making Week. It's 5 nights. We start at 7 p.m. Central Time every day. It'll be about 90 minutes. It's $10. $10. $10 for 5 nights worth of training where we are going to get you to the point where you can make your first batch of soap and be successful with that. I invite you into this challenge. Let's take on this challenge and see what can be done in 1 week and what we can do about jumpstarting your soap making hobby first, and then wherever it is that you want to take it past that. So this is one of the questions that we've been asked as we've been talking to people about Soap Making Week. Again, it starts next Monday. So it starts April 21. It'll last to the 25th. And we would love to see you there. We would love to have you join us, accept this challenge. Take up this challenge and say, what can I do? What can I learn in a week? How far can I get with this soap making thing? And what can I have accomplished at the end of that week? So I invite you into that challenge with me. Let's do this. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can learn and what we can accomplish in that week. So Soap Making Week, April 21 to 25. Starts a week from today, from the date of this live, and the link to join us is in the comments there. I would love to see you there. So have a great rest of your day and really think about joining me for Soap Making Week. We would love to see you there. So have a great day.